Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we are live on Project Cars 2 for the Pagnian Imports Toyota 86 Championship. Tonight is the final round. We are at Fuji GP to wrap us up for the series. Looking at the session for tonight, we're at Fuji GP. There's 15 minutes of qualifying. If it actually will bring that up. Sorry, it's a little bit slow at the moment. So there we go, session details now showing qualifying 15 minutes. Weather conditions are medium cloud. The race is 15 laps. Weather will progress from medium cloud cover through to light cover, and then there is a mandatory pit requirement. We'll take a look at the standings, and it's a very tight wrap up for the series. There's only 9 points difference in the championship between DK and Philly, and it's still tight all the way through those standings, so a big deciding night tonight. It's going to be great seeing these guys battle it out yet again for another fantastic race. We'll look at the results from last week. We're at Sportsland Sugo. Philly qualified third, went on to take the win, and we saw Sami secure the fastest lap bonus points. We'll take a look at the track. In Japan for Fuji GP, track length is 3.9 kilometers. There's 16 turns. In game time starting at 10 AM for qualifying, and then we'll change into 11 AM for the race. It's going to be a very quick race. It's a very long straight all the way down that pitch straight. So there's a heap of speed down into a very tight hairpin, and then most of the time is going to be made up towards that back end of Sector 2 and the start of Sector 3. Drivers loaded up into the session. If you're joining us for the stream, jump into the chat, don't be shy, say hello. Find some drivers getting out on track. They're all in their garages mostly at the moment. If you're new to the stream, hit the follow button. Project Cars 2 racing every Thursday night, 7:45 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And we will be jumping over into Roaring V8 next week. If you do love your racing, love your V8s, it's going to be a fantastic 5 weeks ahead of us. Hey Mark, thanks for jumping on the stream. Check it out. Way through the list, we've got Dirty Monkey, Nick Cliff, DK, Balaki. Hey, T-Rex. Jumping on. Good to see you. We've got Wera. We've been lucky yet again. No IP clashes for the drivers going on in the lobby beforehand. Shouldn't see any disconnect dramas going on. We've got Steph. It will be Steph's last night running on Project Cars 2 tonight. The rest of the Project Cars drivers will be sad to see her go. She is not leaving our league races. You can see her over on iRacing on Monday nights. She'd just wrap up in the Ferrari 488s and then rolling over into the V8 supercars next week. Got Spray. Haven't got to see him for a few races, so good to see him back on the track. We got Taijo. To Philly. Super eager to see him take his first championship with Apex Esports League. Been striving for it. had a fantastic series. Can we see him take the victory for the championship tonight? And we've got Sami. There's Head Farmer. And we got Pretender. If he was just backing out of the garage or not. Like he was going the other direction. A good view down pit lane. There we go, first qualifying times coming through. 146.8 by Philly. And generally calling Philly for the championship win. Actually got faith tonight. Seeing some fantastic battling going on through all the rounds. Oh, we just had a late joiner. Timo's just made it into the session. Kaijo's just taken pole. Only just marginally. 037. Even Mick Cliff and Sami's come through. 8 temps. And there's big points up for grabs for the championship tonight. So the usual 25 points for a pole position. Fastest lap bonus points is doubled, so there's now 10 points up for grabs. And then a huge 240 points for the win when those standings are very tight. There's a big chance for the running. The DK, Philly, Mick, and even the right circumstances we can see. Sami, Steph, Wira, and Dirty still all be within a shot. Otherwise, there's a huge battle for the rest of that podium for the championship. We haven't had a series as tight as this for quite a while. It's exciting to see. Simo's now out on track. Looks like Spray's car parked up. Not sure if that just started or Simo as he came around. I think he's made a little bit of wall contact, so he's probably going to bring the car back. Ooh, disconnect. I think that was Simo. Simo could have been having a clash. Let's see if we can get Spray. Actually, it was Spray that disconnected, not Simo. Yellow flag out for one section. I think that's where Spray might have been parked up. We saw Simo go for the spin. He didn't bring the car back in, so he must not have taken any damage. So no need to waste time getting a fresh car. There is only just 8 minutes to go for qualifying. DK's moved on up. Very close between Philly and DK. This time's 0.031 difference between the two. A bit of movement. Caddy's just moved up a spot. Bumped down Taijo. Look at those times. First 7 drivers. Less than 6.5 temps. Bit of slip under the brakes for Taijo. Jollo. Thanks for joining us. Here to support Philly. DK maybe just hitting back for a little bit, trying to get a bit of space and use some slipstream. It's either Philly or we're just up ahead. Takes a little bit of dirt. Doesn't invalidate his time. We'll jump on board for a lap with someone in a moment. Find someone that's close to commencing a lap. Going into the pits. Nick. Coming up the straight, looks like Tyder just coming out of the pits. Straight in the wall. Maybe a bit of lag though, yep. He's just real coming into the pits. Third one, very sharp. We got Spray just rejoining the session. A little bit of a lag spike as he's joined in. Take a fair bit of... Oh, we've given him the commentator's curse here. He's just avoided damage. But we're going to continue. There's a car just coming around the corner, so he's going to avoid. We're going to talk these Rocket Bunnies have got. It doesn't take much for dropping a bit of off track, and these cars will just flick it out. See, very technical hairpins on the Fuji. Some very fast sweeping corners. Sucked in behind Blarkey. Now into chicanes, which is just actually right left hairpins. Strategic there, spacing out from the car ahead, ready for this next lap. Next corner, very tricky. It makes you want to turn in a little bit earlier, but you try and stay out as far as possible on that. Can't quite spot the apex because of the crest. That left-hander. And very crucial getting that final corner. Lose a heap of speed coming down this very long pit straight. You can see that pit entrance off to the right. Very easy to come in a little too hot. Here's a lap around. Fuji with Mick. So he has a bit more luck when you don't throw the commentator's curse at him. Currently qualified 5th for 1 minute 46.307. Let's see if he can beat that. DK's just moved up a spot. DK's time pretty close down to Sami's, and even Sami's broken down into a 1:45. Running back out on track, hopefully no connection issues for him. There's 6.5 second spread through 12 cars. 3.5 just in the first 11. Yes, hopefully no disconnect from Dirty tonight. Dirty exiting just slightly too early. And costing him a disconnect in the end. Tenders qualified at 148.7. Whereas just taken pole position at 145.786. Over a tenth quicker than DK's time. Sami being bumped down. How tight things are between DK and Philly for the championship. Philly's going to have to try and squeeze another position out. Let's try and trail as close to DK as he can through qualifying. And then so long as he's a full position ahead of DK, no dramas with incidents or the like, and still reasonably up towards the top end of finishing in the race. He'll be within shot of taking over that championship lead. Mick can absolutely blitz tonight. He could be within shot of a championship win as well. As qualifying completes, it's 120 seconds until the session's done, so last laps now. We're at Sami and Mick in the pits having some fun across the line. Let's have a Pretender or a Head Farmer's car. That's Pretender. So he's just finished up. And some burnouts going on. Def and Blarkey having some fun. Well, DK's just parked up. Philly's not had a good lap. Finish it up with a burnout. It's pulling up quite nice. Like it's got a line locker. Bray enjoying the fun as well, so no cars out there currently running for qualifying. And they get to enjoy a minute of burnouts. Nice. Like we've seen out of all our sessions, usually get one or two drivers doing it. They all doing it to send off Steph, being a last race on project cars. Head Farmers AI. Just across the control line. Just Larky and Steph for the next 10 seconds. And that is it. Last qualifying for the Toyota 86 Championship. And there we have it. Pole position for the final round in the Pagnian Imports Toyota 86 Championship goes to Wira 45.786. Only just over a tenth quicker than DK, so it is very tight out there amongst the drivers for this final round. It's going to be an exciting race. And then the rest of the grid we have then is DK, Sami, Philly, Mick, Dirty, Taijo, Head Farmer, the Pretender, Bolaki, Steph, Spray, and Simo. So, and drivers, no connection issues, ready to go onto the grid now. For all our new viewers, if you haven't noticed, there's a bunch of sound effects controls down under the screen. They are free to use. You can do cheers, applauds, boos, all different fun sound effects. So that way you can have some fun and show support as the events unfold tonight. Do make use of those. And don't forget to hit the follow button if you haven't done so already. It'd be great if you can help us climb towards that next milestone of 300 followers. Our drivers at the moment have a couple of minutes just to ready up, so they'll be selecting their pit strategies. And then also making sure that they're swapping over to their race setups. It is fully custom setups for the series. Get a great camera angle for the start of the race at Fuji. It is a right-hand hairpin that they're coming into. Starting a fair way down the straight, so they're going to be getting up to a whole lot of pace. Try and get that track position ready for turn one. See Wira inching that car forward, pushing the limit of potential false start. Massimo having some dramas in the back there on his own. See the car swerving around. Got some pretty good track position. Bit of understeer showing, which is rather interesting. That sees DK take lead. Hold on to DK. To be a little bit off pace at the moment. There's already Philly probing at the moment. Let's see if Simo's Solbrev, there was some tech issues going on with his hardware. Like the car wanting to steer properly off the grid. Dirty sitting tight next to Sami. Tight squeeze up there, took that track position. Sami's going to have a much better run. Exit. DK diving into the pits. Is this a strategic move to get the mandatory pit out of the way? Would he potentially get done for a drive-through penalty? Try and keep an eye on so we don't get any race feed info. So I want to see if he's making a stop or if he's just driving through. That's a full drive-through. He's jumped the start. That's just opened the door wide for the championship for Philly. Dirty. At the best of Sami, he's moved up to P3. He's just taken a post-race time penalty, so he's exceeded track limits. Up to slow down. Oh, we got Jolo. He's away to the gym and still watching. It's dedication for Charlotte's support to Philly. I'm sure he'll be appreciating it. Still fairly tight. Dropping a little bit of pace again. Kaijo closing in. Nick right in the slipstream of Taijo. He's already starting to squeeze out. I think he may have just jumped out a little too early. Hey Jurassic Jam, good to see you. Unable to commit to a pass. He's peeked around and got out of that draft just a little too early. Taijo not having to overly defend the position after that drop in pace by Mick. I'll bring up the timings. 30's copped a 2-second time penalty. It's not going to be too hefty. Given just how close all the drivers crossed the line last week and then even in the previous rounds, could potentially cost a position. So he's going to have to keep that in mind and try and push out that gap. Interesting is to see what Philly's contemplating at the moment. Where he's going to try and make a move on where pull ahead of the pack. Is he just going to tuck in? Not risk any incidents and keep that pace. He's also got to keep in mind that Dirty is quickly closing in. Philly for the championship now that DK's just up to drive-through penalty. He just needs to keep himself as far ahead of DK. DK needs to go into damage control. He's going to be a fair few points off. He can at least try and climb up to be not too far away, secure an extra 10 points for the fastest lap. Damage won't be as hefty for him. There we are, side by side, Wirra and Philly. Philly just gets him. Wirra tucking back in. No, it was Philly, sorry, tucking back in. Taijo gets around Sami. Farmer and Pretender closing in on each other. We did just see before Mick coming in for an early pit stop. He's in 35 seconds behind race lead. The earlier pit last week at Sugo really helped for Mick. Could definitely pay off for him again. Oh, Philly's looking for a line. He's not going to get it. Oh, locks that rear. Philly's carrying a heap of speed. A bit of aero wash, and he took a little bit of extra brake pressure to pull that car up. And generally, could be a Vazmac 1-2 again. Wanting a Vazmac podium for quite a while, and they got it. So can they make it 2 in a row and secure it with a championship win on top? DK's moved up another spot. Just gotten around Steph. We'll need to see DK go back in for that mandatory pit requirement. The drive-through penalty doesn't count. They need to pull the car up in their pit box. They don't have to take fuel, change tyres. It can just be simply pull up and then be released. It still counts. maybe a car off track. I think that was Taijo recovering. I know it was Balaki's car. Still hear an engine idling off to the side. We're a third of the way through. Just finishing lap 5 down to lap 6. A little bit of steering correction by Brewer, it's cost him some pace. Didn't allow an opening, and the gap closed a little bit. And Dirty Monkey holding on to these two. Just sitting back. Letting these two focus on each other as he's closing the gap to them. If he can pick it right, go straight through, get the two of them. He's already positioning really, but he's going to be compromised for this right-hander. Positioning himself far enough along, he may be able to get Philly. Fair bit of curb. Not sure if that would actually be a slowdown request. Trying that corner going beyond red and white curving. It's usually a slowdown. Seems to be closing in on Spray. Last lap, Snow was about 4 seconds slower than Spray's time. He's quickly covered that and caught back up. Blarkey's off, staying aside. Some dramas. Head Farmer trying to work to wash the slipstream from Pretender. That's cost him. A bit of object fixation for Pretender, sees him following off track as well. Oh, that's a disconnect nearly as well. That was quite the lag skip. The full lock. That's 7 laps in. Philly, and we're all tapped from Philly. Does need to play cautious here, going forward, being caught in any instance that may cost him a penalty post-race, especially if he's going to take any damage. I think it's a bit of aero damage to the front of that car. Could easily lose a heap of speed down that pit straight. Really had a fantastic exit. It's a little bit of oversteer at corner exit. Ducked out just a little too early. He's not going to have enough to try and dive in, not safely anyway. Taijo making up huge time. Just getting the pass through turn 1 on Sami. That inside line makes a very tidy pass. He was also closing in and good to try and take them on. We're in Philly pulling ahead again. bunch it is up the front here. Halfway through the race, first 5 cars, 1.7 seconds separating them. There was a train going last week at Sugo. It's dirty. Oh, he's tapped Philly. You have to try and recover quickly. Flashing the lights. I think Philly probably take this chance to go into the pits while he's under pace. It looked like dirty. Possibly trying to redress. I think he may have been actually far enough along to have actually had the track position. At least Philly won't lose too much time. When he takes in that pit now. Probably getting out of that train may be a good idea. Tender also pitting. Billy's been serviced and on his way out. Ed Farmer and DK sitting super close. First of our drivers that have got that pit out of the way is Mick Cliff. So the 6 cars ahead will need to come in for that pit requirement. Jeff just finished up. Pagnian and Sami are at it again. Pagnian only just tucked back in front. Sami right on his tail. Sami returned the same pass, he's lining up for it. Wasn't far enough along to do it. He's carrying some speed. Philly's come back out on track in 8th position. Sees him 10 seconds behind Mick Cliff. DK getting his pit out of the way. Philly not out of the game. There's only 9 points that separated them for the championship standings coming into the round. Not too many points have been added on in their qualifying positions. All he needs to do is just have that position gap between himself and DK to fight for it. But if they drop back too far, it could be a huge opportunity for Mick to take the championship. He's 33 seconds away from we're at the moment. And the cars ahead all need to take that stop. Mick's going to come out very close to the front by the time they all peel off and get that pit out of the way. Sami deciding to bring it in on lap 11. But he's dropped back a little bit with the tangle between himself and Philly. Good contact. Mojo bringing it right to the tail of Wirra. Just gets him. Oh, a little bit of a lag skip going on through the chicanes. That is a very scary spot for it to happen. Wirra gets the position back and evades the lag at the same time. Tojo pestering those mirrors. Tojo commits very early down pit straight, but I think he might be going into the pits. Pressure gone for Wirra. After Sami's pit, comes back out in fourth. He's 4 seconds ahead of Mick. And then have Philly another 4 seconds behind. And DK 10 seconds behind Philly. And all those drivers getting that pit stop out of the way. Even DK serving that drive-through penalty. That's allowed Philly to get away early on, but then that tangle between Philly and Dirty costing a heap of time. Tojo rejoining in position 3. Leave all drivers getting their pits out of the way, except for Wirra and Dirty. If Dirty's time penalty's changed, and he's still holding that 2-second penalty. Where Dirty is probably going to come out. If he maintains 2 seconds, could potentially cost him a position out of this. In comes Wirra now. Dirty go in. No, he stays out on track. That's Balaki off in the distance, having some dramas with that car. Having a whole lot of luck tonight. And just comes out pits. Race lead is now Dirty. So he doesn't need to pit yet, he can wait till the next lap. Where will Wirra come out? Oh, this is going to be very close. There's a lap traffic up ahead. As they're coming out, Wirra just gets track position. Perfect timing coming out of that pit exit. But just line him straight up to own that track position in the corner. Side by side now. Adding about 30 to 35 seconds for the pit stop. He's currently 26.5 seconds away from Dirty, and he will need to pit at the end of the lap. Army looking to get into this fight as well. Comes Dirty now. That's all mandatory pits out of the way. It's a fight to the finish now. Out across the line to start lap 14. 2 more times around to go. Taijo's made some pretty good dive passes here. It's not enough. He's left an opening for Sami at the same time. Sami, a lot of understeer coming into that. Wider line for Taijo cost him a heap of pace. He make it up coming up into the chicanes. We're moving in towards the middle of the track, trying to block that line for Taijo. Taijo's got him here on the inside line before coming into the chicane. Did remember and move that car over. Playing a good defensive game here. Taijo gets a fantastic wide run. He's going to have a huge amount of speed. This car has been absolutely flying down pit straight. He's been getting a lot more straight line speed. They are only inches from each other. Back marker up ahead. I think that looks like Simo's car. Oh, Sami sneaks around the two of them. Bit of door rubbing. Taijo's trying to take that same momentum and tuck in. They're still side by side with Wira. This is the final lap. A three-way fight for the win. Taijo's off in the dirt. He's lost a heap of pace. That could have potentially gone into a slip. Look at his car just quickly recover. Taijo doing this from controller as well. To be able to get in door to door, and even with the international latency difference, be able to duke it out side by side is fantastic. Oh, he nearly tucks in the middle. Can't even keep up. Who's taking race lead? They are just swapping and changing. Only another sector to go. Final corner. Demo moves aside. Clear run for Wira to take the win. Sami far enough ahead that Taijo's not going to get that full run before the control line. And what a fight. A way to wrap up the Toyota 86 Championship. That is Taijo having some fun smashing the car. That is Wira taking the win in the final round. Sami P2, Taijo P3. Dirty takes fourth. Doesn't lose that spot. Mick had some fun trashing the car across the line. Takes fifth. Philly in sixth. DK crosses in seventh. I think championship points wise, for Philly and DK. Could almost come down to being a tie. They're only going to have about 12 points difference between them in finishing position points. They had a 9-point gap and a little bit of gap. Steph rolling across the line. Other side with Balaki. Make it up across the finish line because it's the last time around for Steph on Project Cars. I think we've just had a disconnect. There we have, bring up a result screen. Final round of the Pagnian Imports Toyota 86 Championship done and dusted, with Wira taking the win and taking the fastest lap. I think it's a 146.241. I think it's gone Dirty Monkey. Yes, that's gone to Dirty Monkey, so fantastic lap. An extra 10 points going to Dirty. Well, at the rest of our podium, we have Sami P2, Taijo P3, then we have the rest of the standings being Dirty, Mick, Philly, DK, Spray, Pretender, Head Farmer, Steph, Simo, and Larky. Have our podium finishes in here in a moment. Where Sami and Taijo will be joining us. We'll have the guys jumping in a moment. And congrats on the podium finish, Taijo.
Thank you. I thought I had no pace, considering how far back I qualified.
Yeah, you came up. You had some straight line speed.
Yeah, put the pressures up seemed to help, but was kind of I just couldn't break any later than I could have. Intense battle there towards the end.
Yeah, well, three of yous swapping and changing just over the course of that last lap was phenomenal.
I wasn't watching Sami there, and while I was trying to make for a dive bomb there, and he made the over-under over both of us.
Yeah, he's like, thank you, doors wide open from you two.
That's it, yeah.
He's walked on through. Yeah, congrats, Sami. What a good
cheers,
fight.
mate. Yeah, that was actually an awesome race, that one. I just didn't have the speed with Taijo down those straights, but or even with the Wira and Philly and Dirty at the start. But yeah, what a battle. It's good.
Yeah, that was
well done to Wira for taking the win.
Yeah, good race, mate.
Thanks, JT. Thanks, Sami. Well done, Taijo.
Yeah.
Well done, Sam.
I bumped your rear a few times.
Yeah, there's some good rubs there.
Yeah, it was a great little battle, mate. I'm glad we could put a show on. Not sure what happened to DK. Not sure what happened to Phil as well, mate. But I'm not sure how the championship panned out, mate. I'm sure it's very close between the two of them. So.
Yeah, doing a quick little tally up. I think it's almost a tie. So.
Wow.
Very
okay.
interesting. So.
Yeah, okay. No, well done to both of them. It's been an awesome series, JT. Once again, mate, glad we could put a show on at the end for you. Just a little shout out, mate, to Phil's young fella, mate, Maxi, mate, who's got a birthday going on tomorrow. So big shout out and happy birthday to Maxi, boy.
Happy birthday, Maxi.
Happy birthday, Max.
That's awesome. Congrats, guys. It was a great series, and the racing tonight phenomenal. So
thanks, JT. Thanks for putting on the series.
Really enjoyed seeing that.
Yeah, once again, JT, mate, thanks for an awesome series. As usual, you put on a great show, and it's good to be a part of it, mate. So thank you.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. And glad to have you on there.
Great next week.
Yep. getting into the V8s at Watkins Glen, so it's going to be a good one next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Very well.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Congrats,
JT.
guys.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah, thanks JT once
See you
again.
next
Well done
week.
Sami, well done Tyjo. Thanks for the
Yeah,
good
well
racing.
done, everyone.
Thanks
Yeah.
guys.
No worries.
Thank you.
And there we have, we're taking the win in the final round. Sami P2 and Tyjo in P3. And do stay tuned for our social media, as it's going to be very tight as to how the championship win pans out. So it could potentially line up to be a tie for this, and that will come down to a tiebreaker situation. It will be very exciting to see for a championship win if that is the case. And next week we do start the next championship, and it'll be the last one to take us out for 2022. And it's a full 5 weeks of V8 action, so we'll be heading over to Watkins Glen for the opening round. We've got the Red Bull Ring, then a street circuit over to Long Beach, and we've got Kota, so Circuit of the Americas, and then finishing up at Bathurst Mount Panorama. It's going to be a spectacular series. So if you're new to us, hit that follow button so you can be notified when we go live. So we'll be doing the Project Cars series each Thursday night over those 5 weeks at 7:45 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and then also more V8s coming starting Monday night on iRacing. That's at 7:35 PM. So yeah, it's the V8 supercars with the Commodores and the Mustangs, and then all 5 Australian tracks. So plenty of awesome V8 action coming up. Love your supercars. Don't want to be missing the next 5 weeks. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and I hope to see you trackside next time.